Hey everybody, this is Ken here at pinballrebel.com, and today we are going to be putting a Stern Insider connected kit into a Iron Maiden LE. Iron Maiden didn't come with Stern Insider connected from the factory, and so this is going to be a factory modification. But we're not going to use the all of the kit because we don't want to put it in the apron, which is where the kit wants you to mount it. So we're actually going to put it inside the coin door, and we've bought the modification to mount it inside the coin door instead of inside the apron because we don't want to mess up the apron. And we're going to give you the details on where to do that at and show you how to make that connection. So stick around. Iron Maiden did not come with an Insider connected kit. The kit, the aftermarket kit from the factory, wants you to install it here into the apron, which will mess up these limited edition light up panels. We don't want to do that. We want to mount it down here in the coin door. It's going to mount here where the dollar bill validator is installed. If we look at a Godzilla LE, which is right next to it, it came from the factory and looks nice. This is how it was meant to be done. So this is okay because it's not going to mess up any artwork. It's not going to mess up any panels. That's okay. So let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, the first thing we've purchased here is the Insider connected kit. And there are different models of these depending on what model of game that you have. So this is for the premium LE games. We ordered this from our local distributor, which is Fun in Mesquite, Texas. So we need this. So we have that piece. Okay, the next thing that we have is an adapter plate for the bill validator to put the Insider connected kit in there. This kit came from Clint in Dickinson, Texas. He sells these on eBay in an Etsy store. You can also get them from him off of Pinside. And it comes with a little bit longer RJ45 cable, some black zip ties to dress up the cable install, and the plate. Also comes with a QR code so you can scan to get to the instructions. So we're going to use this kit with our Stern Insider connected kit and put it all together and see what kind of look it gives us. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is on the back of the coin door, we want to take loose the nuts and the spacers that are holding the plate for the coin door validator on. It's pretty simple. Just grab your nut driver, take these off. Don't lose any of these, they're kind of small, so they're easy to lose. Okay, we've got all the nuts off. I'm down to my last spacer. This one also has a little cable management on it here. Don't lose your little clip, you'll need that later. Save that too. And now the plate that's holding the plate for the coin bill validator, we'll just slide that right out. A lot of people don't even know this is a plate. See that? There you go. When you're done, you're gonna have a big hole in your coin door, just like that. And this is where your reader for your Insider connected kit is gonna go instead of in your apron. And it'll look really nice. It's gonna look like a factory install. Okay, so now we're ready to get the QR reader to go to prep it to go inside the coin door. Okay, we've unpacked the contents of the Stern Insider connected kit. I've really pulled out the pieces that are most important to me at this time. You get a little memory card that needs to go into the computer board on the pinball machine. You get a wireless network adapter that's going to have to go into the main board on the machine. You get some instructions. You get some various signage for the game. I'm not going to use any of this because, I mean, to me, everybody knows, everybody that's coming to my house is going to know what that reader does and what it is, so I don't need this. And then here is the piece that would normally go in the apron on the game. So this is the heart of the kit. And now I'm going to take this reader loose from this plate and install it in the plate I bought from the gentleman in Texas, my fellow Texan, I should say, and reattach it so it can go in the coin door. Be sure to save your spacers. There are a couple on here. You can see it here, one here, and there's one over there, because you're going to put them back in the same location on the adapter plate. Same thing, same. Just use my nut driver to take off these 4 little nuts and retain the spacers. Be gentle with this assembly, and make sure when you move it over to the adapter plate not to over tighten. Oops. Now when you remove the nuts, you only need to remove the nuts that are on the ones with the standoffs, because those are the ones that actually have studs. If you try to remove the ones that do not have studs, they'll just spin. And you don't need to take those off anyway, because this entire assembly is going to release if you just take off the 2 that are on the spacers. It's kind of hard to film, and there you go. So now it's loose. We're going to move it down. So now we have 2 spacers. We're going to move the spacers over to our new plate. Just like that. Now we just move the assembly over to our new plate. Be careful with the electronics. This is also a good time to remove the film, because it'll be harder to remove once you get it in the coin door. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the protective film from the reader now. And then this is just going to sit inside. Just like that. There we go. And now we put our 2 nuts back on, and it'll be done, or the plate will be finished. Make sure that the jack to connect the network cable is facing up. You know this is up because there's a notch here, and this is the bottom of the plate. So I'm going to put the nuts back on now. And as I mentioned before, don't over tighten these. This is a plastic case and you can crack it. So you don't want to do that. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just snug it down. And as I mentioned before, don't over tighten these. This is a plastic case and you can crack it. So you don't want to do that. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just snug it down. And as I mentioned before, don't over tighten these. This is a plastic case and you can crack it. So you don't want to do that. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just snug it down. So here we have the QR code reader assembled from the back, and if we flip it over, there's the front. So now we're going to go stick it inside the game. That should be easy enough to do. Just put it back onto the holes. So here it is from the back side. Now we just need to put our spacers and our nuts back on it. And it'll be connected as far as the mounting is installed, and then we'll run the cabling. Got the standoffs back on, the cable management back on. Don't forget to put that back so your coin door cables don't get pinched, and then you just retighten the nuts back down. I would finger tighten them first before bumping them down with the nut driver so you don't crack these little plastic standoffs. But again, these don't have to be super tight. You've got 4 of them here, so you're basically just snugging these down again. And let's take a look at it from the front. Look at that. So there's your QR code reader, and it does have a plastic plexiglass plate in front, so you don't have to worry about it damaging the camera or whatnot. So now we need to run the cable to it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is actually run the network cable to the network, or to the card reader, the QR code reader. So, got to open this up. For the record, we still don't like the new lockdown bar mechanisms. We'd rather spend a little extra money and get the old school lockdown bar mechanisms. We think those are far superior. So let's take the glass out. Be careful that you don't turn that into a bunch of small diamonds. Remove the ball before you let the play field. Iron Maiden has 6. Now we have enough cable to run all the way to the back box, but because we have a topper installed in this game that's running off the node board in the back already, there's no empty port, so we're going to have to hook it underneath the play film to the node board on the apron. This is the node board we're going to connect to. Then we're going to run the cable down and over and connect it. The kit, the aftermarket kit, not the Stern connected kit, but the one that came with the adapter plate, has a lot longer network cable. So that's what we're going to install next. You also have to make sure to leave enough slack so that when you put the play fillet back in position, it doesn't pull too tight. I'm going to hook to the inside Stern Insider connected kit right there. Follow the same cable management that the other cables are connected to, and go inside the same looms. Go ahead and go all the way to the back and then go up, because this playfield is going to slide backwards here in a minute. I have plenty of slack here, so I'm just going to follow the same cable and come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop this and zip tie it over here. That takes care of all that. Now we need to install the parts that go in the head of the game. We got to get in the back box. And so I was saying earlier we had to hook the insider connected kit to the apron node board because all of our connections for the network cables in the back are taken because we have a topper installed. The two things we need are our network adapter and our little flash card that came with the insider connected kit. These both come with the Stern kit. Just hooks into one of your open USB ports here. You have two right in the center of the board. Done. That's the network adapter. Wireless network adapter. You can hardwire these if you want. Then you have your little memory card, and it goes underneath this heatsink, and it pushes in, and you'll hear a little click. And that's it, and it's done. So now we need to update the software on this game, if you haven't already done that, and I have not, so that it will run. It will have the ability to connect to the internet. So let me go get the flash stick that I've already downloaded the update for Iron Maiden on. Now I've retrieved my flash drive with my software update on it. I'm going to install it into the other USB port that's available. Then I'm going to boot the machine. And hopefully it'll realize we've done a little work here. It's asking us if we want to update the Iron Maiden code, and we do. So we're going to go over here and say yes. And now it's going to start updating its impact. One thing to keep in mind, if you buy one of these Stern Insider Connected kits for your game at your home, when you log in and play, if you do get achievements, and you will, because some of them are fairly simple, there are two kinds you can receive. You can receive achievements based on games that are not on physical locations like an arcade or a bar or whatever, and then there are unverified locations like in a home game room, and there are two different, they'll show up as two different kinds in your Stern Insider account. I suppose they did that to keep people from cheating and taking the glass off and getting achievements that maybe they didn't earn. That doesn't solve the problem of the guy who owns the game in a location of cheating, but I guess it helps a little bit. Maybe at some point in time, Stern's going to offer rewards or perks for people that make certain achievements. To date, they haven't, but they may at some point. This brings us here at the home arcade here at my place to having 3 games that have these Stern Insider Connected kits in them. We have Iron Maiden, we have a Godzilla, which came with it from the factory. We have a Black Knight LE, Swords of Rage, which we installed this kit in yesterday. It's a pity that Stern is not installing these kits in some of the other Spike games that don't have the LCD panels in them, like Kiss or Ghostbusters or Metallica, because I think they could really benefit from that. I don't know what the reasoning was there. There may be something with the coding or whatnot, but I guess they needed a spot to do a demarc, and that's where they picked. And success. Let's take out the memory stick and cycle the game. Memory stick is out. I like to count to about 10 before I turn the power back on. Let's do the reboot. And see what we get. Should find the board. Let's shut the board just to see if we see the light come on. I'm really pleased with how this mod looks. It looks factory. It doesn't detract from the look of the apron and the lit plastics on the premium or the LE. So the thing we have to do now is we have to connect this game to our local network so that it can get out and talk to Stern's network. Fortunately, they make that easy, and I have to give kudos to whoever at Stern came up with this. But if you already have one game connected to the Stern Insider Network, you can actually go into the menu and get the QR code to scan on the reader on the new game, and it will pull the settings from an existing game, put it into the new game, and then the new game will automatically connect. It is a great time saver. So that's what we're going to do as soon as it finishes updating here. It found the new micro SD card that we put in. Should format it now, and there goes the format. And now it's ready to set up for the Insider Connected. So what we're going to do is we're going to say English, yes. USA, game pricing should be on free play, yes. Today is April 2nd. And there's the new network. And from here we can scan the Wi-Fi code to connect. So that's what we're going to do. So actually I'm filming all of this with my phone, so I'm going to use my phone to actually do the scan because I've got a picture of the QR code on my phone. So you're not going to see that part. It's really very simple. There, that's it. We connected it. Now we just need to put the glass back in. Don't like this system. Drives me bonkers. It's got to be done in the right order, and I forget every time. There we go. We'll put the glass back in and lock it back up. Always make sure your coin door is shut when you're removing and installing the glass so you don't scratch the glass. Why Stern doesn't lower the coin door just a hair so that the glass doesn't catch the coin door, I don't know, but they don't. There's probably a reason, I just don't know what it is. Some people put a couple of little pieces of felt right there. But if you just remember to shut your door when you're removing glass and installing glass, you won't scratch it. And there we go. So at this point we have a installed Stern Inside connector kit in the coin door. And it looks very factory, and it preserved the look of our apron. I think that's far preferable to destroying the look of the game. So there you have it. So we hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on how to install a Stern Insider connected kit into the coin door. And if you liked this instructional video, please be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and to visit our website at pinballrebel.com.